If you got some money to burn and would like to support my channel, check out J-List or Play Asia. If you don't need games or Japanese imports, be sure to support my channel on Patreon or Maker Support. The links to everything mentioned can be found in the video description.
So this is Louis, and it is still early in the morning, and I've had a cup of coffee, but I'm still stumbling over my words a bit because I'm not totally clear-headed just yet. However, I wanted to see if I could hammer out a take talking about a portion of a greater issue that I've been struggling to script out and give to you guys in a one straight shot that would be covering a whole litany of issues. But one of the things that I think I may cut out of that commentary, because I'm having an issue fitting it in, is the issue of provocative protesting during the Pledge of Allegiance. So we've seen multiple instances of this with a variety of characters doing it, all of whom are black. Two examples of this that I'm going to give are Colin Kaepernick, who I'm sure everyone listening to this has heard of, who was, I believe, a former QB, but is now jobless because, one, he's provocative and controversial. Two, he's not that good as a QB. So Colin Kaepernick, what he did was he took a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, as many of you can imagine, that is incredibly controversial and provocative because he didn't do it on in his own spare time. He didn't be an activist when he's not on the field. He was being an activist while on the field during a nationally televised game. And he did this, I can't say how many times he did it, but he did it more than once. And it became controversial because one of the things that the NFL sells you, for those of you that watch the NFL, is patriotism. They sell you patriotism. That is one of the aspects of the NFL that is widely known. They sell patriotism, and they want to make American football an American pastime such as baseball. They want that to be true about football. So taking a knee as a sign of protest during the Pledge of Allegiance, that is incredibly fucking provocative and controversial, and many people are going to see that as insulting towards being an American while in America, as an American making millions of dollars, okay? So it's provocative, but I would in every way defend Colin Kaepernick and anyone else participating in that kind of protest so long as they could define what it is exactly they're protesting. Even if I didn't agree with what it is they're protesting, I would still defend them doing it. Obviously, they have the right to do it, with the exception of if it violates their contract or violates some sort of stipulation by the NFL. And obviously, it's a private group and it's a private team owned by a private person, and they're free to to bench them or do whatever, so long as they're adhering to the contract they had that player sign. But obviously, there's a difference between this and any kind of criminal offense, and as we can all imagine, this isn't that. You have the right to protest during a private game. But the issue is with Colin Kaepernick that after the game, when everyone is sticking a camera in his face and a microphone in his face and asking him, Colin, tell us why you're protesting during the pledge, Colin has no fucking answer. And I'm not going to go through the multiple statements that he has given on this because they are long and they are just rambling and ridiculous and substanceless.
What are you trying to accomplish? What would you like this to be the end game for you?
That's basically. Ultimately, it's to bring awareness and make people, realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust. People aren't being held accountable for, and that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for: freedom, liberty, justice for all, and it's not happening for all right now.
Is this something that's evolved as a philosophy in your mind, and how has this kind of progressed that you make a stand like this?
It's something that I've seen, I've felt, wasn't quite sure how to deal with originally, and it is something that's evolved. It's something as I've gained more knowledge about, what's going on in this country in the past, what's going on currently. These aren't new situations. This isn't new ground. It's things that have gone on in this country for years and years and have never been addressed, and they need to be.
Will you continue, Colin, to sit? Will you continue to sit?
Yes, I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. To me, this is something that has to change. And when there's significant change, and I feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, and this country is representing people the way that it's supposed to, I'll stand.
Specifically, what would you like to see change in order for you to stand?
There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people. That's not right. That's not right by anyone's standards.
So this is one of the reasons why I don't like Colin Kaepernick. I don't support Colin Kaepernick. I don't support the protesting during the NFL games, even though I don't watch them and I'm not really a fan of the NFL. I don't support these actions. I don't support this protesting because ultimately the people protesting cannot even define why they're protesting. It is just this vague notion of, well, there's some sort of injustice happening in America against black people specifically. When asked what that is, all they can offer is, well, there's a lot of cops shooting a lot of black people. And all I can do is turn around and say, well, listen, take a look at crime statistics, and black people are heavily overrepresented in terms of violence. Now, there are cops shooting black people unjustly, I will agree, but the issue is, one of the reasons why there's a disproportionate number of black men being shot, including by black officers, it's because black men are overrepresented in terms of violent crime. However, if that were even the thing, it would be a matter of, okay, I support your right to do it, I just don't agree. We don't even agree on the statistics or the reasoning behind it, but that's not the case. If that was it, again, it wouldn't be a topic of discussion, for me at least. But with Colin Kaepernick, it's just, even that is vague. It's vaguely defined why he's protesting, even with that issue. For him, it goes beyond that, even though he can't even define it. And another example of this, and it's why I'm talking about this today, is that Tucker Carlson on his own show interviewed this newly elected representative from, I believe, Missouri, who is something Franks, I believe it is. I can't quite remember the guy's first name. I think it's Bernie or something, Franks. And so he interviewed this guy on his show, and Tucker Carlson asked a pertinent question that I would like to know. Okay, you're doing the Black Power fist during the Pledge of Allegiance, which is fine. It's a protest. You're protesting publicly. You're an elected representative. Why are you doing it? And the guy, given, the 4 minutes that he's given by Tucker Carlson, which in this instance I can't even blame Tucker for having a short segment, the guy can't fucking define the reason why he's doing it.
So you raised a fist in, I guess, defiance, or tell us what this symbolic act meant. What did you mean by it during the Pledge of Allegiance?
So I've never said the Pledge of Allegiance. And even in the House last year when I was in session, most of the time I wasn't in the chambers because I know that there are a lot of people that, have a lot of respect and feel proudly about the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance. I know how I feel. And so my raising my fist was basically power to the people, to all people, all power to the people, invested into the people. And when I say I pledge allegiance to the people, that's who I'm chosen to represent. That's who I'm elected to represent. But even before I was elected, that's who I stand for.
Well, good for you. I think you were elected by the people, and you ought to represent them. When you say you know how you feel about the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance, how do you feel?
So when I think about the Pledge of Allegiance, the thing that sticks out most is when I hear for liberty and justice for all. When I think liberty and justice for all, we obviously haven't seen that across the United States. Over time, over my 33 years of living, we see that there are when it comes to justice, that looks a little different depending on sometimes where you're from, depending on sometimes what your socioeconomic status is, and what you look like.
So, okay, but so does that mean you're against the Pledge of Allegiance because it holds those up as ideals? I'm confused.
No, so I understand that they hold those up. My thing is we talk about liberty and justice for all. We repeat a pledge. We pledge of allegiance. And I pledge allegiance to the people. That's who I stand for, and that's who I stand with.
But what about the country? And aren't the people in the country kind of the same thing? Or, I mean, I don't know how you feel, which is why I'm asking you, but it sounds like you're opposed to America when you take a stand against the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance, but maybe that's not your position.
I'm opposed to folks in economically distressed communities being treated differently in America. I am opposed to the way our government treats our economically distressed communities, our marginalized people in America. We have plenty of veterans who support me, who support our right to protest, no matter what that is, even if they don't necessarily agree. Many of them have expressed to me that this is the very reason why they fought. They fought for our First Amendment rights. And we're not always going to agree on when we exercise them or what we're exercising them about.
Right.
But it's our right to exercise them.
You can't even give the fucking vague notion of police shootings that Colin Kaepernick can. Just nothing. The guy offers fucking nothing for why he's actually participating in protesting. You know, if you are going to be an activist, you have to fucking define why you are an activist. What is your fucking activism outside of go black people? Black identitarianism. No reason to be a black identitarian, just I'm a blackitarian because reasons. It's so ridiculous, and then begs the question, you know, why should anyone take you seriously in any way, shape, and form? Because you can't even define why you believe what you believe, other than you're black. That seems to be the only reason why you're a black identitarian, is that you're black, which is nothing more than naked self-interest. How can you not see that as the equivalent of a white supremacist saying, I'm a white supremacist for no other reason than I'm white? Naked self-interest, naked racism. You know, that's the thing. In the case of Colin Kaepernick and this representative, I don't really see any signs that they are like an insane racist. Maybe they are, and I don't know, and they haven't espoused those views. But when offered the chance to expose themselves as racist, they haven't really done it. So maybe Colin has, and again, I haven't seen it, but at least with this representative on Tucker Carlson's show, which again, we're not going to go through because it's rambling and boring. I'll link the segments that I can find for you to watch, and you can feel free to interpret them however you wish to, but I don't really get the idea that these people are even racist. So it's like even there, I don't know where to even go with this. Like, I don't know why you are raising the black power fist, why you're taking a knee. I don't fucking understand why you're doing it, and you can't fucking define it for me. You can't even say why you're doing these things. And yet I'm supposed to fucking take you seriously. I'm supposed to see you as serious. I'm supposed to take you seriously as some kind of activist. When you literally can't name a single reason why you're an activist. Not one issue, not anything. Just generalizations, vague notions that, oh man, there's some sort of injustices happening in the United States towards black people. Okay, what? Just name the fucking injustices. There's so many, just name one, please. Just so you and I can be on equal footing for why you're doing what you're fucking doing. But they can't even do that. I realize that, you know, for the black activists that are out there or the sympathizers toward these activists, that they're unlikely to, you know, stumble across this video and equally unlikely to listen to me beyond a certain point because it's, oh, here's this white guy that doesn't agree with me, fuck them. You know, just please, if you are going to participate in these things or be an activist yourself or sympathize with the like, you know, this representative or Colin Kaepernick, what you need to do is insist to these people that they actually define what they believe and why they're protesting. They need to have a minimum amount of knowledge to articulate to people to define what they believe. Because if they are unable to say in any way why they're doing what they're doing, then the immediate assumption everyone's going to have that they're just black and a black identitarian. That is going to be the assumption. Because that's the only thing they can actually define, is that they are black and proud. They're black and they're an activist. There's no other reason for it other than they themselves are black. And some people are just going to immediately assume that it is that person, that activist, being a racist. Because literally their race is all they can define about themselves and their activism. It's not illogical to leap to that assumption in this case. Because this person cannot actually define their activism other than their skin pigmentation. That's literally it. And that's an illegitimate fucking cause, in my opinion, because I am anti-identitarian. Most people in this country are anti-identitarian. They don't like people using race to justify activism. Most people see that, rightly, as illegitimate. The script that I am struggling to turn into an actual commentary is about this, is about black identitarians and their multiple movements that exist in the United States. And there are many groups that exist in the United States that have differing goals and differing beliefs that are all black identitarians. I know that everyone likes to think that Black Lives Matter is the most radical or the biggest focal point of black identitarianism in the United States, and that's not true. There are many different black identitarian groups, and there are several that are leagues more radical than Black Lives Matter. That doesn't mean that there aren't, radical people that had sympathies with Black Lives Matter, but espoused, different sympathies towards other groups. In the case that I can think of, I forget the guy's name, something Long, that was the Baton Rouge cop assassin, the Dallas cop assassin, New York City cop assassin. There's been many black identitarian cop assassins at this point, to the degree that the FBI has created an entire grouping for these people, black identitarian extremists. That's the video that I like to do, is on that topic. And the reason why it's important to talk about is that I would just like to know what these fucking people believe. Because if these people can actually walk onto the set of Fox News and actually give their viewpoint and people can understand what they believe and why, I think it will help everyone involved, including those within the group and those outside the group. The problem is that when these people are given a microphone, when these people are given the chance to just espouse what they fucking believe, why they are an activist, they just can't do it. They can't even say what they take issue with in the United States, the reason for why they're protesting during the pledge. It's just this general notion that they don't like the country. There's injustices happening, so fuck America. And for most people, you gotta actually offer a good goddamn reason for why you're saying fuck the United States, because that is what you're doing, and that is how people are taking it. They're not just taking it, oh, they have a First Amendment right. Yeah, no shit. No fucking shit, they have a First Amendment right. Why are they protesting? Why? Just give the fucking reasons. Just give one reason why they're doing what they're doing. And these people, to a T, every goddamn one that I've seen has been completely unable to just give one reason. It's pathetic. So I guess I will tie this off right here, because this is a subtopic to a much greater issue. And there's only so much time that you can give to this particular subtopic, because it goes nowhere. And that's not my fault. That is the fault of the fucking activists. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think, because this is kind of fucking retarded. And I really wish these people would put a little bit more thought into doing this before they show up on television. Like, if you do the protest and you think, oh shit, they're going to call me out, I better come up with a reason, actually come up with just one reason before you show up on Fox News. And you can't even give, like, even the vaguest fucking response for why you're doing what you're doing. You know, you show up wearing this Black Power fucking hoodie that this guy did on Fox News, and Tucker asked him, like, okay, why are you doing that? You know, would you be fine if I showed up with a white identitarian hoodie? And he just goes, yeah. And Tucker just moves on, because it's like, okay, like that's the only reason you're giving, is that you're black. You know, that's the only thing I take away from your fucking interview on Fox News, is that you're a black identitarian because you're black. And I'm sorry, but for 90% of people, That's not good enough. Give us a different fucking reason other than you're fucking black for why you're a black identitarian. Because that, again, the immediate assumption that anyone is going to have is, okay, you're just a racist. You just don't like other racial groups and you think blacks are superior. Because literally that's all I have to take away. Give me something else, please. But for now, thanks for listening.